Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rebecca Keppel. In today's video, we are going to be making snow globe shakers with the brand new Queen & Co kit, Winter Wonderland. If you saw my last Queen & Co shaker kit video, you know that they are one of my absolute favorite small businesses to support and that they make it so easy to create shaker cards. It's really a 1, 2, 3 process. What's unique and fun about this month's kit is that there are 3 different types of snow globes, but what you get a ton of are all these little dies to create scenes inside. What's also unique about this month's kit is that it comes with the outline dies, and I'm going to show you why those are so much fun and how to use them. Don't forget, this is part of my Support Small Card Making Businesses series. If you love supporting small card making businesses too, be sure to subscribe down below. But let's dive right into snow globes and the Winter Wonderland kit. First, let's take a look at the contents of the Queen & Co Winter Wonderland kit. Everything in the kit comes bagged up and packaged safely. You'll receive a sheet outlining the contents included and giving you examples of cards that show all the snow globe shapes and 6 ways to use them with different scenes inside. You get a die for each shaker shape, so that's 3 snow globe shapes and 3 snow globe bases, and a whole bunch of tiny dies that can be used to create various scenes inside the snow globes. This kit also includes the 3 snow globe outline dies, which cut the background for the shaker, and I'll go into them in more detail as we put the shakers together. Usually the outline dies are available for separate purchase, so I was excited to see them included in this kit. You'll get 3 die-cut shaker foam pieces per shape. So in this kit, you receive a total of 9 foam die-cut shapes. If that's not enough, refills are generally available for purchase. You'll also receive 9 die-cut acetate window pieces. If you choose to purchase the refill pack, the acetate and foam shapes are included in one pack. There's a 3x4 sentiment stamp set in this kit, and you can see that most of these sentiments fit on the bases of the snow globes. Then there are the exclusive toppings or shaker goodies. These round glittery discs come in green, red, silver, teal, iridescent, and black. Also included are snowflakes and pearls. You can buy an additional set of these exclusive toppings if you want more. The pattern paper pad has many versatile basics as well as Winter Wonderland specific patterns, and you get 4 sheets per double-sided design. I chose to separately purchase the Winter Wonderland solids, which has basic solid colors that perfectly match the pattern papers and toppings. I decided for now not to cut apart the small dies and instead place a 6x6 piece of white cardstock over all of them so I can color them in the colors that I want. I also cut these out of several colors of the pattern paper. To start putting the rounded snow globe together, I first adhered a die-cut stitched rectangle in pattern paper to an A2 piece from the solids pad. I cut out the outline die with this snowflake pattern paper. The great thing about the outline dies is that they're the same size of the completed shaker, so they can help you plan where to place your shaker before adhering the double-sided foam down to your project. Next, I die cut the frame die. You can see that normally I would use this inner piece to adhere inside the shaker, but the outline die makes that step unnecessary. Plus, your frame and outline can be different colors. Next, I find the foam for the rounded snow globe shaker and pop it out. Then pop out the center of the foam. Peel off the back protective layer of the double-sided foam and lay the foam right on top of the outline die cut. I had to die cut a house in black, and I knew I wasn't going to be using it, so I adhered the base behind the red die cut house windows and then cut away the black house hanging off the top. This creates nighttime windows. Now add adhesive to the back of the house and place it inside the snow globe. Add tape runner to the back of the silhouette of the Santa and reindeer that I had cut out in black and add that to your scene as well. This kind of klutzy drop of the die cut is why I like to use tape runner whenever I can, so that I don't have liquid glue dropped on places that it shouldn't be. I adhered a small wreath to the house and 2 snowy trees outside. Once the scene is finished, it's time to add the shaker snow. I use the iridescent discs and the actual snowflake toppings as well. Then just peel off the top protective layer of the foam and find the matching acetate piece and place it right on top. Next, I placed the die-cut snow globe base in my MISTI and stamped the sentiment in Gina K black amalgam ink. I've shared this before, but the reason that I love Thermoweb's memory tape runner is that the head swivels, making it really easy to get around a curved die cut. Since I had the sentiment on the base, there was a bunch of space at the top of the card. So I added some die-cut stars and popped one up on foam adhesive. Then I used the Studio Katya embellishment wand to add some liquid glue behind some of these toppings to use as embellishments. I love how easy it was to create this cute little Christmas scene snow globe shaker card. And I love using the toppings inside the shakers and on the outside for decorations. The dome snow globe gives you more height to add taller items to your shaker. I matted a piece of pattern paper on top of an A2 piece of pattern paper, and now I'm going to adhere the dome snow globe outline die on top. Pop out the dome foam shape and then pop out the centerpiece. Remove the protective backing and place the foam right down onto the outline die cut. Now you can get to work creating your scene. I liked the large tree and the large snowman, and they fit perfectly inside this tall shaker. You can see I cut the snowman out of white glitter cardstock. The kit comes with everything you need to create a ton of cards, but sometimes I like to add specialty papers in too. Instead of coloring in the entire white cardstock present, I just used a Copic marker to color the ribbon and the bow. Once the scene was done, I added the toppings. This time I used teal and green glitter discs. Then remove the top protective layer of the foam and place that matching acetate window on top. Don't worry if it's not perfectly lined up, because generally the frame will cover any slight misalignment. I die cut silver foil frame to adhere on top of that shaker. I also die cut and placed in my MISTI a black paper base for the snow globe, and I'm going to treat it with anti-static powder and stamp the sentiment with Versamark ink. Then pour white embossing powder on top and melt the embossing powder with my heat tool. I love this sweet scene of the snowman celebrating by the tree. Again, I was left with extra space on top of the card, so I cut a glitter white cardstock banner and some stars and adhered them to decorate the top. And then I used the Thermoweb Ultra Bond liquid glue and Studio Katya embellishment wand again to adhere the red glitter discs as accents. I love how they kind of look like holly berries. The third snow globe shape looks like an arch, and I'm going to create the sled and present scene in this one. I took a die-cut white cardstock present and drew a ribbon on it with Copic marker and added red dots to the present as well. I layered 2 pattern papers, one with a fun die-cut edge, on top of each other for the background, and I'll link to all the dies I used below. I die-cut the outline die in the black and tiny star pattern paper, and I love how it's going to look inside the gray frame. I adhered the outline die cut down to the card panel and then popped the foam shape out and popped the center out of that. Then peel off the back protective layer and lay it down right on top of the outline die cut. Then it's time to create the scene. There's a tiny die to layer the sled blade over the sled so it can be a different color, so I adhered a white bottom onto the red sled. I want the sled to be the main image, so I start by adhering some small green trees and a little snowman in the background first. Then I only place adhesive on the sides and bottom of the sled. I don't want the center adhered so that I can tuck presents into the seat of the sled. Then I adhere a few different presents inside. Once the scene was done, I added my toppings. I chose snowflakes and blue glitter discs this time. Then I peeled off the top protective layer and placed the matching die-cut acetate on top. I mentioned in the last card that if a little hangs off, that's okay, but here it seemed like a lot, so I just trimmed it with a small pair of sharp scissors. So long as you have the acetate touching a little on every edge of the foam, the toppings will be trapped inside and you're fine. I adhered the gray frame on top and then adhered a silver foil base on top of that. I stamped the sentiment this time on a flag in Peacock Feathers Distress Oxide ink. I love how the Distress Oxides stamp even those teeny tiny little letters. I again die cut and adhered some stars as accents and then adhered the whole panel to a top folding white A2 card base. I did just want to share how to put together the little ballerina, and I'm going to use the dome snow globe for her. I cut both the ballerina and her tutu out of white cardstock. I'll color the tutu in pink, and for the ballerina, I'm going to completely cover her in the color I chose for her skin to make sure I don't have any white cardstock spots peeking out. There are teeny tiny dies for her hair and her ballet shoes, but rather than color those and adhere them, I decided to just draw them in. So I colored her bun and the top of her hair with brown, and then I adhered her tutu and then just drew in some ballet slippers. You can easily adhere the dies, but I thought this was honestly just as fast and easy, and I didn't have to mess with adhering those teeny tiny little dies. Next, I stamped the Visions with Sugar Plums sentiment on a white banner and adhered it to the top of my pattern paper panel. Then I adhered the die-cut outline die onto the panel, peeled off the back protective layer of the foam and placed it onto the die-cut panel. Then I adhered the ballerina, which actually completes the scene for this one. I wanted to keep it very simple inside so that she was the star of the show. I poured a few different toppings inside, including the white pearls, snowflakes, and iridescent discs, and then peeled off the top protective layer and placed the matching acetate on top. A tip for getting it straight is to line up the straightest part first, so I start with the base and then go on up. Adhere the die cut frame right on top of the shaker and the base on top of that. I love the way with 3 dies, an outline, a frame, and a base, you can really customize these snow globes in so many different ways. I liked having the ballerina inside by herself, but I decided to add a glitter white and small tree outside the shaker to complete this card. If you want to check out Queen & Co.'s Winter Wonderland kit, the link will be down in the YouTube description box below. If you enjoyed seeing how easy it is to make these snow globe shakers, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that bell so you can be notified every time I have a new video available. As always, I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon. Sometimes it's like blah, blah, blah. So, why do I keep calling? There's always like weird things going on with the side of my hair.